always ask me this. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. It is October 23rd in 2025. And we're recording this live. So be nice. All right. Yesterday, we we had some fun looking at this new tarot deck. It is new. It's new to the world. It came out recently, the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot. Really excited about that. And we pulled some cards yesterday for someone out there. It might have been for you. We don't know. All right. Thanks for being nice. I'm still getting used to this new schedule. I think we might move this to 7:30. Not like I was ready by 8, but with commuting to work until this podcast pays me the big bucks. I have a job that I need to get to every morning. So here I am, and I'm ready to talk to you today. So it's Tea and Tell. We drink tea here. We talk about stuff like books and movies and our dreams. And then we read either tarot or oracle at the end for an audience member. So I'm glad you're here and so glad that you're joining me. I figure maybe we'll have people join us. Like, I figure this will be something that people can listen to while they're getting ready in the morning and like driving to work, that kind of thing. So yesterday it didn't work too well because I did I think they're called flip throughs maybe, where I went through all the tarot cards in a deck to show you, and that's not good radio. So we'll see. We'll see what we do. Today, I think we'll probably use this deck. This is one of my favorite decks. It's called the Star Maiden Tarot. And I love it. It's beautiful. I think I did something with that the other day. And I know tarot readers who have like 100 decks. It's amazing to think that there are that many, but it's quite popular. And tarot, like I said, so I'll tell you my story about tarot. So when I first started, when I first heard of tarot, my mom told me it was evil, so I didn't go near it. And then when I was in my 40s at some point, my husband started getting kind of interested in that kind of thing. And so I was actually at a little store in Salt Lake City, and it was called, they had this like fun little name. I can't remember, but it was in Salt Lake City, kind of over in the in Sugar House. And I went in there one day and they had some tarot decks and oracle decks. And I was like, okay, so at the time, I was all about like very positive thinking because I was like, I was listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks at the time. And so to me, it was like, well, I don't want to go near tarot because tarot has like negative and positive. I just want to do something with oracle because oracle seemed more positive overall. So I went in there and she was showing me different decks and she was like, okay, well, she's like, I'm not really a reader or anything, but here, let's just do one. Let's see what happens. And so she pulled out this one deck. I don't know which one it was. And she just said, okay, so she's like, pull a card. And I pulled a card. And at the time, we were living in Salt Lake, but it was like, it felt like it was time to go. And we knew it was time to be done with where we were. Like I didn't feel at the time like I was growing. I didn't feel like we were moving in a good direction or not. We just weren't moving in any direction at all. And so And I knew we had to move. Like, I knew that that house was not for us anymore and it was time to go. So she pulled out a deck and I pulled a card. Oh, so I had that question in my heart. I She pulled out a deck. She asked me to pick one card, which I did, and it was like a cart, like I don't know, like a cart that would have apples in it or something. It was some kind of like wheeled a wheeled thing from, medieval England or something. And then she had me pull the next card, and the next card was actually had a month on it. It said July. And now a cart for me, like living in Utah at the time, I mean, that's how a lot of people got to Utah was like pushing carts. Like they actually had hand carts that they pushed and arrived in Utah with. And so to me, I was asking about moving, like when would we move? When would we get out of here? And it said July and a cart. Like there was so very specific. And so I just sort of kind of kept that under wraps. And then that was probably, I don't know, February. I think that was probably right before the pandemic hit. And then my husband, so during the pandemic, we had this weird illusion that we didn't have friends, like that no friend, but we were just not seeing each other because it was the pandemic and people weren't getting together anymore. So we were like, yeah, like nothing's here for us. I mean, we knew we had to move, right? But we sort of moved under the false illusion that there was nothing there for us anymore. But also there were other reasons too. It wasn't just that. But we didn't feel like we were leaving much behind. And of course now we're like, "Oh, we miss our friends so much." But anyway, it was around about June, my husband came up to Idaho to stay with his parents for a little bit while he did some writing. And then he just, I don't know, he just had the feeling like maybe we should move up here. And then then he went home, started applying for jobs, and in July we knew that we could move. And then it ended up being like we started packing in July and then we were gone by August actually. So, and we've been here ever since. So that was my first little experience with tarot or oracle. And then let's see. And then shortly afterwards, I actually had my sweet friend Micah. She did this whole oracle spread with me. It was like, I don't know, 17 cards or something. It was a lot of cards. And she was like, her eyes were popping because she wasn't, she didn't do that much. She just had a deck and she's like, here, I'll do a reading for you. And her eyes were popping though, because all of the cards all sort of said something very similar, like, speak up, do what, speak your truth, those kinds of things. But they all said that. And I was like, don't they all say that? And she's like, no, they don't all say that. So I did find that it was really interesting. And then, so then I bought my first deck thinking, well, I don't want to buy an oracle. I want to buy a tarot because my husband was learning about it and he's like, no, the tarot's pretty cool. And so anyway, then he thought it was pretty cool because it showed you different things and it wasn't something to be scared of. It wasn't something to be afraid of. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll buy a tarot deck because I was like trying to be like all positive, all positive. I was definitely in an Abraham Hicks like rabbit hole. No, everything needs to be positive all the time. So I was like, okay, well, let's, you know, like I'll buy a tarot deck, but I'll make sure that the tarot deck is like for my writing because I need positive and negative for writing stories because you can't just write a story that's all positive because then the story doesn't go anywhere. So I bought one called I think I have it here. One moment, please. Here, I'll show you. For if you're watching. Okay. This one is called the Dark Wood Tarot. And I think I found this at Barnes and Noble or something like that. And I wanted it because it had a big guidebook because I didn't know what I was doing. And anyway, I bought it and I never used it because I thought, oh yeah, it's going to help me with my writing. It didn't. I mean, it could have. It didn't end up being something I really found to be super helpful. But it's it's kind of like, it looks a little witchy. Some of the illustrations are pretty, I don't know, how do I explain it? They're very ethereal and kind of cartoony. Anyway, I thought they were interesting. And then I just put those aside. So then, fast forward, we're now so I bought this, didn't really use it. Then suddenly we were in 2023. It's 2023. And I got an invitation to go with some writer friends to a retreat in Provo, Utah. So at the time, it all seemed to happen like a manifestation. Like, everything's a manifestation, I guess. But it was one of those things where it all seemed like it was all coming together all at once. And I was using my let's just see mentality, which I love the let's just see. I feel like let's just see are magic words. And this is why. Let's just see means it's like let us, those are two words together. So let is like allowing, that's sort of magic. Abraham Hicks law of attraction, it's the art of allowing she talks about, or they talk about. And then us, it's like you and me. It's like me and my inner being. So let us just see. Just means let's be easy about it. There's no insistence on an outcome here. Let's just see. And then see is like, let's see what happens. It's like, it's waiting, it's allowing. So I think that those words are magical. So I got this, I got a text. I got a text from a writer friend, and she was like, do you want to come to this retreat? We don't have another person. And of course, everybody else was in Utah, but I was not in Utah. I was up here in Idaho. But I was like, I had just been journaling about wanting things to move forward and writing, or like I wanted answers about something. And lo and behold, she texted right when I was doing that. So I was like, okay, this is something. And this is a synchronicity. So I just said, let's just see. And so I looked at my bank account. I had enough money to go to the retreat. I looked at, I had enough money for the flight, and then I went. So I went to the retreat. And at that retreat, on the first night, the person holding the retreat is like a super good girl. So when I was doing tarot, I was like when I first started looking at tarot, I was like, ooh, this is like, I don't know, it's naughty, or like my mom said, the cards were evil. So I was like very nervous. I was like really, I was like, oh, I don't know. I shouldn't tell anyone that I'm doing this, that kind of thing. But then, lo and behold, at this little writers retreat where these were like good girls, and not, okay, I'm just saying good in my definitions. Okay, my definitions at the time. Not I don't subscribe to those definitions quite the same way as I used to in a past life, meaning this life. But anyway, so they were very so it was like this beautiful setting, and she had this beautiful woman come and read tarot for the writers, and we all had questions like, how do I make my writing better? I feel like I'm stuck in my writing. What should I do? Should I keep going forward on this book? Those kinds of questions. And she did a reading for each person, and seriously, almost everybody was in tears, crying, and it felt like some sort of spiritual meeting or something. It felt like we were like it just felt so loving. It felt like a loving atmosphere, and she was doing straight up tarot, not oracle or anything like that. And so I was like, "Okay." And by the end of the night, I mean, she made such an impression on me. I just said, like, "Who are you and how can we be like you?" And I don't ever say that to anyone. I don't really idolize a lot of people, but she was just like, I don't know, I just wanted to be just like her. And again, I don't I usually don't find people that I'm like, I want to be like them. I'm my own person, or try to be. But she was just so cool. So that girl was Brooke, and she is my life coach, and she reads tarot for me on a weekly basis. And anyway, I love her. So that's my story of tarot. And then once Brooke and I started meeting weekly, then I started to learn more about tarot in that sense. Now, when I talk about tarot, I'm definitely kind of new. I would say I'm more of a practitioner than an expert or a master. I mean, come on, who is? But there's always stuff to learn, and it's mostly just a fun and interesting way to deep dive into your own psyche and your own life situation. And I do believe, in the words of Bashar, that we're basically here to, well, no, it's not his words. It's a mishmash of all the people I listen to. I think we're here to learn again how to be ourselves, because life teaches you how to not be yourself. And then it's our chance in life to learn again how to be ourselves. And then with that knowledge, love ourselves, and then express that love to the world. So I think that's what life is all about. And I think tarot is a great way to do it. Like, tarot is a great way to know thyself. Okay, so now, like, let's do some more show and tell. We've been here for a little bit, and I'm going to show you one of the things I worked on with Brooke. This will give you a chance to get to know me, and it might inspire you to do something similar to this for yourself. I am talking really close to the camera because, number one, I've been having technical difficulties with any other camera besides just the webcam on my iMac. And I only have this Yeti microphone right now, which means I had to lean forward. So if you're getting me right up in your screen, I apologize. All right. Okay, so this is I decided to do, like, this wasn't really an assignment from Brooke. It was just something I said that I was going to do. And so, but it is not a vision board, but a vision book. And with this vision book, my aim was not being like, oh, I'm going to put a picture of a yacht in here so that I can manifest this yacht next year, by April of 2027. It's not like that at all. It's more like the feeling, like what are the feelings that these pictures create in me? Like, yeah, what are the feelings that are stirred up when I look at these pictures? And how can I create that feeling now? And yeah, maybe some things will manifest. Awesome. It's more about the feeling. Can I get that feeling to manifest and can I feel that way more of the time? So, first things first, this is okay. So this is my this was my vision book. So first, I just loved that. And the feeling it's the feeling of like groundedness and learning and growing, and it's golden hour, and what's not to love. So then I am from Massachusetts, so there it's sort of this, it's almost like I have this perpetual um like I live in Idaho, and I have this sort of perpetual feeling of exile because I'm no longer in Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. I love the ocean. I miss it. But for whatever reason, I'm here. And so there's always a lot of um I've got a little bit of sulky energy, like it's time to go back to the sea. So I have some ocean themes, like those houses that feels like home. I mean, I didn't live in a house like that back home, but actually some of my friends did. And they didn't have cars, and their parents would ask me to drive them home, which is interesting. Was I the driver? I don't think so. We were equals. It was great. Okay, so like look at that. How cool is that? Just the idea of having like a space to yourself. Um Butterflies to me signify my imagination and wanting to, this is a reminder to me to let those little fragile butterfly wings grow and expand so that they can create. Just the amazing thing is like magazines now are very expensive. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've like tripled in price because there aren't as many ads in them. And you kind of don't want to cut them up quite as much. They don't come as often. When you get a subscription, it's not quite the same as it used to be. I mean, we used to have magazines coming out our ears because that was the way to do stuff. And so finding magazines for cutting things out is actually harder than it used to be. But, look around, you might find I found a thrift store near my house, and they always have like magazines for 50 cents. So some thrift stores don't do magazines, some others do. So one of the a lot of the other thing is though, a lot of the thrift stores are like Christian run, and so they won't sell things like Cosmo, or like they won't sell anything that's like where there's any debauchery or lasciviousness. So sometimes you do have to buy a magazine or two here and there. So I love this thing that Abraham Hicks says. It's just, oh wait, hang on. Where is it? It says easy. Here, I gotta open this up. It says easy to create a castle or a button. It's just a matter of whether you're focused on a castle or a button. And I love that. So I have buttons and castles on this. And let's see. So we go through. This was kind of, so I love tea, and I have this business idea that it's not fully formed, and I haven't quite figured out how it's going to work, but it's called Eleven's Society, and I thought it was a business, but it might just be like, it's like a big mastermind. It's a global mastermind that I want to have with people. And so as this thing that I'm doing right now, as it expands, maybe we can do some more with 11's Society, and we can all be together and create a community. Maybe that's what the community will be that's attached to Tea and Tell. So here we go. This is my Empress page. And I don't know. She gives me Empress energy. I don't know that everybody would agree with me, but she's kind of she does kind of look she looks kind of badass, but she's just here in a place of abundance and stuff. She doesn't have to go anywhere. It just comes to her. And love, I just thought that was cool. And so I've like sort of collaged all these other things around here. Anyway, on and on it goes. Um, she's not always my cup of tea. She's a little, I don't know. She is a totally different kind of person. I mean, who knows? She could be, maybe she's from another dimension. Um, and on it goes. Anyway, who doesn't love a good Hallmark movie kind of feeling? I don't watch Hallmark movies personally, but my friend Lindsay pointed out to me that apparently I want to live in one. So she actually does live in one, I think, where she lives. So on and on. I don't know if this is interesting for you, but these are just things that I love and make me happy. And yeah, so when you make your vision book, oh, here we go. I like this one. So I do have a fantasy of living in England one day. So this is like both sides. So this is New England and this is England. And, my dream life would be basically to own a house on both sides of the pond. But it's interesting because I'm looking at this now and I'm realizing like, I don't need any of these things to make me happy. Like, I think that these are amazing. And I would love to live this dream life. And yet, more and more, I'm like, oh, but I don't need this. I don't need this to be happy. And maybe that's the magical place to be. But I'm not going to stress about that. Okay. Travel, obviously. Okay, so then we got to some interesting things. I realized that when I was meeting with Brooke that I had this, it's like I have to feed, I have like all these things going on. I call it my multiple curiosities. And so I'm always, there's like, it's like there's always either a 3-ring circus, or one time I was like, it's like I have all these horses to feed, or she said something like that. And so we have this tarot deck that has horses in it, and it's called the Heartscape Tarot. It's a little tricky to find. I ordered this from Taiwan. And anyway, so I feel like I'm always feeding these separate horses. And so this one is my multiple curiosities one. So this is the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands to me is like all the magic that goes around that. And then Knight of Cups is, well, obviously teacups. So this is my 11s of Society thing. This is my multiple curiosities. I have another podcast that I have started. It's not as active as I'm making this one right now. So this one, I would say that our tea and tell is right here in Queen of Cups, or Knight of Cups and Queen of Cups. And here's my Empress. I pulled this card like 5 times in a row in this one time in my life. So that just means to me that if you keep pulling a card, the universe is trying to tell you something, or you could call it your inner being or whatever. So Knight of Swords to me means writing. And writing is basically what I do. If you were to put everything, like if you were to combine all things that I've done in my life with my career, like if I had to pick one thing that I am besides a mom and a wife or whatever, I would say I'm a writer. So, and I would love to do movies. And then this is Catherine Bigelow, right? Wow. I'm a little disconnected from that. Okay. She did Zero Dark 30 and some other things, but she won an Academy Award, so that's inspiring to me. And then finally the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles to me means abundance, and so I put that there, and then on it goes, and basically exhausted all my magazines over the course of a year and put this book together. So if it inspires you, that's wonderful. Yeah, but the point is to, I mean, I have that. It's kind of it's a nice reminder of like all the joy that I believe is possible. Um, and then but it's, you act, so let that be sort of a beacon. So I let that be a beacon for the direction I'm going in. And then, but on the day to day, I do my best to not insist on anything in that book. And then I just act on my excitement every day. And so this right now is me acting on my excitement with you. So next, let's see. I'm going to pull a card. Okay. We're going to do this one. Okay. Because guess what? One of my favorite shows in the fall, and we watched the whole show on Halloween when the door is when we're answering the door for trick-or-treaters. And what it is, it is, let's see if you can recognize this. If you know who that is, or raise your hand. That is Wirt, and he is on the little show Over the Garden Wall, which is one of the cutest, most adorable shows. And it's so funny and it's so cool, and it's like nerdy and cool and weird and awesome. So if you ever have the opportunity to watch Over the Garden Wall, I highly recommend it. It's been out for just over 10 years, and it was on Cartoon Network. You can watch it now. I believe it's on Hulu. And when and actually it just had its 10-year anniversary. So last year, Aardman Studios actually made a claymation, a very short claymation, but based on the original cartoon movie. And it's the voice actors are great. It actually has Elijah Wood. It has like Chris Isaac, the singer. It has it has John Cleese. It's super cool. Super, like, it's one of those shows that's like has a cult following, and if you know, you know. And anyway, check it out. It's super quirky, a little weird, and just totally awesome. So, all right, I'm going to shuffle, and we're going to use the Over the Garden Wall cards today, because we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and we watched Over the Garden Wall over the weekend with my family, so it was really fun. And we're going to watch it again probably on Halloween. So, what is the question that I would like to see? Let's see. Is anyone here in the chat? If you are here, then please let me know. And what would your question be? Let's see. Okay. I like this question because it's one of those funny questions that we know that it's sort of a paradox of a question, but I think a lot of people have it. And that is, what do I want? Like, show me what I want. I want to know. So, and the paradox is, I want to know what I want. Okay. But that's, when people talk about manifesting and doing that as a practice, and, I think we all kind of basically know what we want, but we don't even know that what we want is going to get us what we want. Right. Like, somebody might be like, I want to become a doctor, but why do you want to become a doctor? Do you want to become a doctor because you want to be a doctor, or because you want to be helping people? Or do you want to be a doctor because you want to impress someone? Or do you want to be a doctor because that's what your parents want you to do? It's those kinds of questions. So when somebody says, "What do you want? What do you really want?" That is sometimes one of the hardest questions to answer. And so that's the question that I kind of feel coming through from my audience, my future audience. And so we're going to phrase it like a statement, as if we're kind of calling upon or reaching out to our higher mind, our inner being, source, creation, whatever you want to call it. Please show me what I want. Please show me the thing that will make me happy, because that's what we're really asking. What is the thing that's going to make us happy? Hint, nothing's going to actually, no thing is necessarily going to make you happy, but it's in the doing. So so Brooke the other day said it's process over product. So what is the thing that you want to do? And this was something interesting the other day. I was talking to her about this Tea and Tell podcast, and I said, "Yeah, I like it. I feel like I just have to show up, be myself, and then yeah, I mean, I could do that every day. I could do that 1,000 times." And she was like, "Whoa." She's like, "I got goosebumps." So it's like a lot of times we think we want something because we want the end product. A lot of people want to have written a book, and there's nothing really wrong with that. Writing a book can be daunting. And so there is that idea of like, if when you write the book, it's more like, some people want to write a book so they're famous. Maybe that's not the best reason to write a book. Some people want to write a book because they want to be able to read the book. That, I think, is in that in between. It's not a so that, like, I want to write a book so that I can be rich. That's maybe not the best reason to do it. I want to write a book so that I can have the joy of writing it. That might be something. But then there is that in between, because a book, I don't know, a book is a bigger task a little bit. Somebody might go to medical school so that they can become a doctor. That might be different. That's a little bit different too. So I'm not saying that there aren't bridging activities that get you to the thing that you really truly do want. Maybe somebody really truly does want a doctor because they want to be able to help people in that capacity, and they would love to be in a hospital setting, and they would love to be around that kind of energy day in and day out. That's awesome. And maybe somebody wants to write a book because they love the idea of the finished product of the book, and they know that they're the only ones that can write the book because the idea has come to them. So there is that in between. There are those things. And then when you have those things, then I think the trick is to teach yourself. Like, I think it's a great opportunity to learn and grow. Like, if you do want to become a doctor, then learn to love medical school so that you're not just, so that medical school isn't a big so that, so that it's not a so that. Okay. That's what I call these things that we do. We're doing to get somewhere else, when maybe the thing that we want is actually contained in that vibration of what we want. So maybe, yeah, now I'm getting kind of in the weeds, but um I guess what I'm saying is, there can be times when the thing that you want, you do have to do these bridge steps that may not be the process that you think will bring you joy once you're there, such as being a doctor, or such as, um, writing a book. Maybe you want the joy of being able to read that book that came through you. That's wonderful. A lot of people I know, though, the writers I know, they like to have written the book, and then they never want to read the book after it's published, because then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I should have changed that. And why did I do it that way?" So that's a little tricky. So the thing to learn, the way to learn, is you go while you're doing the process. If that's really what you truly want to do, because you think that that book needs to come through you. It's going to bring you joy. It feels good. It feels right that that's what your future holds. And you're going to want to write lots of other books like it, or write other books, because a lot of times once you write, then they want you to keep writing. Then you have to, one trick, I mean, you don't have to, but it's a great idea to learn to love the process of what you're doing, so that that is not the only reason you're doing it, but so that you're enjoying the thing while you're doing the thing, the process over product. Okay, that was a long way to explain that. Okay, so we're going to start with this. This is a brand new deck, so I'm going to switch it. So the question is, show me what I want. Show me what I want that is going to show me the, like, how do I find the thing? Like, what is the thing that I'm going to enjoy the process of? What is the thing that I'm going to enjoy once I get there? What is my trajectory where that will bring me the most joy? Okay. Please show me what I want that will bring me the most joy and most fulfillment in my life. And yeah, okay. So tarot cards are never as easy to shuffle, as playing cards, because there's 78 of them and not 52. And so the deck is usually thicker, and also so many, this one's easy to use. These are like super simple ones, but there's some tarot decks out there that are so beautifully done that doing a regular shuffle is not good for the cards. And then some cards are really rare, so the person that owns them won't want you to like shuffle them, like a normal playing card shuffle. Okay. Here we go. Please show me what it is that I want that will bring me joy. I cut the deck where it felt good. So our present moment is Temperance. Roots or past is Judgment. And the invitation for next steps is Ace of Wands. Okay. So, Temperance. I like this card. So, if you can see this little girl, she's not a big character in this story, in this show. I don't know who she is, but she does look like she comes from that land in Over the Garden Wall. So, what she's got here is she has 2 cups. It looks like, actually, that's so funny. She has 2. Oh, I know who she is. She's one of the kids at the party at the end of the story. So she's got 2 solo cups. And this is funny because I had a friend that we were talking about the red solo cups. Margot Robbie, who is from Australia, was so excited when she came to America, and she was like, oh my gosh, they really do have the red solo cups at parties. She told all of her friends. And she says she actually brings lots of the red cups back to Australia with her. So anyway, she is pouring like from cup to cup like that. So when I see the Temperance card, I think of different things like tempering chocolate, tempering glass. What you're doing is you're raising and lowering the temperature back and forth. Also with her cups, I think of it as like, and actually this helps me. The Dark Wood Tarot that I was showing you earlier, that Temperance woman has like roots like a tree for her feet. And so I think of Temperance as like, you're not moving anywhere, you're just planted and you're moving from cup to cup. So now I love this idea, this image, like what I'm feeling is this idea of you probably already have you have everything that you need already. You have what you need to do this thing that you want to do, but you're looking outside of yourself for this thing. And I'm inviting you to consider that possibly you don't need to go anywhere. It's more about just changing the energy from one thing to another. Look around. What do you already have? What do you already see? What is already in front of you? In this now, what comes to mind right now? Often, the thing that we think that we think that what we want is outside because we don't perceive that we already have it. But it's kind of like this magical and manifestation idea. It's that you already have the thing that you're looking for. The thing that you're searching for is already seeking you. It's already here. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to look at things with different eyes. It's that kind of idea. So, like, and the other thing is, often we discount what comes easily to us. Because I was saying to Brooke yesterday or the other day, I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's super easy for me to just get in front of a camera and talk to people like that, like just bring myself. And she's like, well, she's like, that might be easy for you. It's not easy for everybody. So she said, don't be afraid to look to the thing that's easy and enjoyable as kind of an indicator of where you can go and where your joy is going to be. Okay. So there's that. Then, so judgment. I'm going to read about judgment. I never pull this card. So let me get my coloring book. Okay. So judgment is number 20 of the major arcana. Okay. Time to review your life and release whatever's holding you back from reaching the highest heights. The presence of the judgment card can represent a sign, a nudge from above, a strong pull towards your purpose or calling. That's totally what we're talking about. Or a cosmic wake-up call that allows you to finally see the light. Will you heed the call? If you do, you can look forward to enlightenment, renewal, or a happy ending that paves the way for a new beginning. Shed the old life, rise and shine. Okay. So, do you see this? There's like little like skeletons with a pumpkin head coming out of the ground. So it's time to like let go of the past, let go of some of the things. You can let go of actual judgment. Like sometimes we hear in our heads these judgments of, oh, you don't want to do that thing. Like you might know in your heart what you want to do, but you don't think you know what you want to do because you can hear the judgment of others. So because this is in the past, these are your roots. So you're coming from a place where there used to be a lot of judgment. You're coming from a place where somebody was telling you what to do. Maybe it's time to see who you really are. Sit in a quiet place. Stand your sacred ground. It's like Brooke is always quoting Brené Brown, like, don't puff up, don't shrink, don't puff up. Stand your sacred ground. So stand your sacred ground, listen quietly, and then listen. Let go of the judgment from before, and in tarot, judgment doesn't mean a bad thing, but just let go of what's not working for you anymore. Let go of the ideas of others. Okay, an invitation to next steps is the Ace of Wands. So I'm going to read about that. I don't get that one very often. All right. Ace of Wands. Okay. For some people, Ace of Wands is like, so if you look at tarot like a story, Ace of Wands is only 2 after Judgment. Or not. Actually, sometimes the cups come first. Anyway, this is what this says. The Ace of Wands is the thumbs up card in the deck. It's a big yes to whatever you may be asking. Whether you are embarking on a new venture or a creative project or interviewing for a new job, you can take that first step with confidence. All systems are go. The Ace of Wands is also sometimes associated with the birth of a child. If the question is about conceiving, this is the green light to go ahead. In romantic questions, this can indicate the beginning of a passionate relationship. So, next steps is to go forward. Whatever it felt like to you, like whatever that kind of quiet answer, whatever comes easy for you, whatever makes you feel, whatever is the most you, whatever, and let go of the people and the voices that aren't you. Put down the things. I mean, I'm kind of inviting you to do something more 10 of Wandsy, which is to put down the burdens that aren't yours, like put down beliefs that aren't yours anymore. But let go of those things. And it's time to be yourself, be all of you, and rest in a quiet knowing that you have everything that you need. You just need to maybe change the energy in what you already have. And then go forward. Go forward and be exciting, be excited, be interested, be interesting, and move forward in the thing that you love. And you're just going to find more of yourself there. And guess what? You, yourself, you're a wonderful person and you deserve to be here. You belong here because everybody does. You are all lovable. And I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I love you all. And we'll talk tomorrow. And I might be coming on at 7:30 tomorrow. If I can wake up, we'll see. Have a wonderful